90% of people actually achieve their goals, right? That means that the 92% of other people who set goals, very dreamy goals, big goals, they want to take over the world, they want to fly high, don't get to achieve that goal. And that should tell you something about goal setting. So it's not just about setting goals. You want to become a forex trader, data analyst, UI UX design. So it's not just about setting your goals. And I've never really shared this before, but 5 years ago I graduated from secondary school. I had nothing doing. I just had this passion to become a better person. But fortunately for me, I had a sister who was a seamstress. And you know what? I learned under her for 8 months, still trying to discover what I wanted to do, passing away time. Fortunately, I decided to become a nurse because I had this innate desire to help people. But I realized that my desire to help people was not equivalent to my disgust for blood and pharmaceuticals. So I wanted to help people, but I knew this passion wasn't for me. Long story short, I stumbled upon design. I was like, you know what, I'm going to try this. It doesn't hurt to try something new. So I ventured into design, got into an academy. I was learning for almost 3 months, and during the end of my program, meanwhile, while I was starting out, I didn't even have any laptop. It was just one of my techno phone that was always heating up. So you can see that my career started with a K-leg. It wasn't very funny, it wasn't very easy, but I was excited. And during the end of that program, something happened, right? There was this program that was organized at this academy where I was learning, just like this, this event you are at right now. So I just attended. There were a lot of people, ambitious people, just like you are. More than 40 developers. I was the only designer amidst them. And I didn't know anything. I was very, very not confident in what I do. But something happened. They were introducing themselves just like you did today. Everybody gets to introduce themselves and say what they were doing. And it got to my turn. Thank God I was sitting at the back, but I was fidgeting. It got to my turn, and then I did something. The organizer asked me, what do you do? I said, I'm a designer, I'm Chidimma. He said, you are UX design or graphic design? I said, graphic design. But something struck me. That was the first time I was hearing the word UI UX design. So I went home that day. I was very curious. I started Googling YouTube, blogs, articles, anything I could get on the word UI UX design. I was so interested in this topic. I didn't know why, but I was just interested. And that is me 4 years later, still practicing UI UX design. And I think that was one of the best decisions that I ever made in my career. So that leads me to the first thing you need to do if you're trying to build a career as a designer, or you're trying to balance your career. Even if you are already, you're trying to strike a balance between being a student and building this career. The first thing you need to do is to actually get curious with whatever it is that you're looking to achieve. You need to start getting curious. You need to start asking yourself questions. Oh, I want to learn this. How do I go about this? How do I become the best version in this? How do I become one of the top industry best? How do people recognize me for what it is that I know? So you need to get curious. Curiosity is one thing that has led me to where I am today. And for me, when I started out, it looked something like, oh, what are the best tools that designers use? Why do designers use these tools? What are the best ways that I can apply for jobs? Where do I get people that could teach me this? Constantly asking me questions. And the more that I asked myself questions, the more that I knew, the more experience I got. So the first thing you need to do, aside UI UX design, the first thing you need to do when you're trying to learn something new is to start getting curious about that thing. You need to start getting curious in order to learn more and widen your experience. So because of time, I'm going to try to go through a lot of things we have today. So the second thing you need to do, right, moving on, the second thing you need to do is to set up a structure. See, whatever it is you're trying to learn, there are people who have gone ahead of you. There are people who have done all those things before. Now I can see some of you guys, you're not even writing. You want to change your life in 2025, you're not writing. You want 2025 to be your financial breakthrough, you're not writing. Some of you, 2024 was even your year of financial breakthrough. Did you break through a bit, the year broke you? For me, both happened, right? So please write if you're not writing. The second thing you need to do, like I said, is to set up a structure. You need to get a structure. So like I said, for everything you want to learn, there are people who have gone ahead of you. So you want to learn this thing, how do you go about it? You need to start asking yourself questions. What do I do to get 1% better every single day? And if you're trying to build a career skill, if you're trying to build a career as a designer, the first thing you need to do is to get a professional skill. Now I know there are so many of you who will be like, oh, I don't have the money, I don't have the resources, I don't have the time. Those are excuses, because if it's a priority, you would take it seriously. So the first thing you need to do is to get a course, get a professional course. Now I also started with a free course. I didn't have money at the moment. I started with a free course. So I think I didn't talk about this, but I think 3 months after practicing graphic design, like I said, I went home and began my career as a UI designer. So I practically learned on my own. So you can learn on your own as well. But I would advise that you start with a professional course so that you're not all over the place. You need to get a course to start out with. Then you need to get people that have gone ahead of you to get insight on what you need to do. So if you can't pay someone, you get a course. If you can't get a course, if you don't have the money, then you look through the internet. There are so many resources that you can get for free to start out this career. Now, once you've gotten a structure, the next thing you need to do is to practice consistently. Practice consistently. Now, I have a couple of students, and I would always tell them that no matter how much I teach you, if you like enroll for my class for 1 year, no matter how much I teach you, and you don't get to do that work yourself, you are as good as you did not learn. Because of course I can teach you and you believe that you've learned, but unless you do it, that is the only way you become better. 4 years ago, I was just a dreamy girl. I was just sitting with one of my plastic blue tables, spending nights, hours, trying to become a better person. And today I'm speaking to people on how to become better. So your dreams are valid. You just have to start 1% at a time. And one of the ways to achieve that is to practice that thing you're doing. Now, a lot of students will give the excuse that they don't really have time. Most of my colleagues, when we started out, were students. Some were engineers, they were studying engineering, some radiography. So these are demanding courses. These are courses that demand your time, but they still make out time. What I will tell you is that 30 minutes is not a short time to learn something. Because you can use that to scroll on WhatsApp, you can use that on Instagram. You can waste 1 hour, 2 hours. So it's not enough excuse to say, I don't have this time, I'm a student. That is just not a priority, that is the truth. It's not enough priority for you to place your attention on that. So you need to set out time to consistently practice what it is that you do. 30 minutes, 1 hour is enough. The goal is to get 1% better every single day. And moving on, the third thing that you need to do in order to become a UI UX designer, the third will be the fourth, is to seek feedback on what you're doing. Now you can be learning something and also be learning wrongly at the same time. You can be learning something but you're not learning it right. It happened to me. I will be learning something and I think I'm learning, but then I'm actually not learning the right thing. So you need to seek feedback. And a lot of the ways you can do that is to share what you do with people that have gone ahead of you. There are so many people that can help you. And where are the ways you can find them are social media. For me, it was Twitter. I was always sharing my work on Twitter. And thank God I had amazing people to support me, strangers to support me. So you constantly need to seek feedback. Post your work. Constantly seek feedback. Post your work. Ask people, what is it? This thing I did, how can I make it better? You need to do that. So that is very important in building your career. Another way you can do that is to share it in communities. As students, you have so many communities. But for you who is trying to become a designer, there are so many design communities you can start out with. If you have interest, if you have big interest in graphic design or UI UX design, there are so many ways that you can get into these communities for free. You try and share the things that you have done. Don't try to do it alone, idly in your room. You're going to waste a lot of time. So if you want to run fast, you run with people that have done it before. That is one of the fastest ways to grow. So I'm not just teaching you how to become a designer, but also how to move at a faster pace. How to become part of these 80% people who are going to set a goal and actually achieve them. Not set a goal and then end up looking back at the year and seeing that you did not achieve what you set. That is very important. You need to get feedback from people in order to know if you're on the right track or on the wrong track. Very important. And lastly, one of the things you need to do is to network and collaborate with people. Now I know this sounds a little bit cliche. Everywhere you go, network, especially tech people. Network, connect. It's now worse if you're on LinkedIn. Network, connect, collaborate. It sounds so cliche. But I think the host said that your network determines your net worth. That is one of the biggest truths you can ever imagine. And I don't know if anybody has told you before, but the amount of opportunities you're going to get is going to come mostly from your network and not from the job applications you make. I'm a living testament of that. Sometimes when opportunities come my way, they go in through my circle first. They go in through the network first before they start reaching out to people who don't know anything or don't have any privileges. And if there are people who are in your circle that have the skills that are required, they will take it up, so it will not even reach you. So the question you start asking yourself is, how do I build network? How do I build a network of people that are in my circle that has a positive influence on my career? How do I collaborate with people that would change me? Those were questions I kept asking myself. And one of the things you can start doing is to go out, start meeting new people, like you're at event now. When they finish the event, don't carry your bag and rush back to your hostel. Talk to people. Tell them what you do. Even if you're a student, you're confused. Tell them, oh, I'm confused, but this is what I want to do. Just make network with people that can influence your life positively. Now, I don't mean you should only wait for people who can help your career financially. Most of the people that I'm still flying with today are people that I started out an internship with. And we are not where we want to be, but we have gone a long road. We have made a lot of progress in what it is that we're doing. So it can start off with you finding people that have common interests as you, people that have common goals, people that have the drive to become better. That is one of the ways that you can influence your career and become a better person. Because the people in your environment have so much influence on who you can become. Now, collaboration is quite important. Now, I don't know if any of you has been to the market, mostly, especially for the ladies, you're passing and one auntie is like, and they keep asking you questions. Sometimes you take a step back, you're like, I think I actually need these onions. I think I actually need this pepper. And then you get those things from them, and sometimes they even become your favorite customers. That is to tell you that sometimes people don't know who you are. You need to put yourself out there, constantly telling people, look, this is what I do. Look, I sell pepper. Look, I sell onions. There's nothing different between you and those people in the local market. The only difference is that you're in a digital market, your phone. You market yourself online. So you need to network and collaborate with people. Collaborate with people that have the same interest as you. Network with people that have the same interest as you. It is going to have so much influence on who you are going to become in this career. Very, very important. Now I can see that time is running out, so I'm going to quickly conclude on what I've said today. So what I've said today is I've shared with you how to build a profitable career as a designer, whether you're a UI designer or a graphic designer. If you maybe have interest in becoming any of that and you don't know how to go about it, I'm still here. You can reach out to me later. But for that, right, I've shared how you can become that, a very quick tip. And one thing I'd like you to do is, if you're taking notes, go home, relax, go through those tips again, try to look into it and try to see how you're going to, kind of impute it into a step that is going to help you become a better person or build a very large career for yourself, so that by the end of the year, 1 year is not a long time. It's not the other day we started 2024. It's not a long time. So you're going to be able to look back and see, yes, I've built a big career. Yes, I've become a better person. Even if I'm not where I want to be, yes, I've become a better person. And that is it for me today. And I want to say thank you for giving me your attention. Have an amazing day.
Thank you so much, Miss Chidimma. That was awesome. That was on point. That was on time.